Democratic presidential candidates hit the trail in South Carolina today on the heels of last night's raucous debate. As Lisa Desjardins reports, the candidates left it all on the stage.
South Carolina chooses presidents.
In the Palmetto State today, a 2020 Democratic blitz.
I am ready to fight.
Please bring your friends, your neighbors, your family members.
I am here to ask for your vote.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, the leader nationally, is trying to pull off a surprise win here, adding event after event.
Now, to defeat Trump, you cannot run a conventional campaign. Same old, it's not going to do it.
But former Vice President Joe Biden has long led the pack in the state, and for him, South Carolina is a must-win. Today, he scored a coup, the endorsement of South Carolina Representative Jim Clyburn, the highest-ranking African-American in Congress.
I know Joe. We know Joe. But most importantly, Joe knows us.
If nothing else, it is intense here, as evidenced last night.
Mr. Sanders,
Let's talk about it.
Can I say something?
Look, first of all,
When the candidates debated in Charleston.
Tom, I think she was talking about my plan.
Sanders got the front-runner treatment, meaning attacks from all sides.
As one prominent Democrat once said, we should pay attention to where the voters of this country are, Bernie. That prominent Democrat was Barack Obama.
Bernie and I agree on a lot of things, but I think I would make a better president than Bernie.
I am not looking forward to a scenario where it comes down to Donald Trump with his nostalgia for the social order of the 1950s and Bernie Sanders with the nostalgia for the revolutionary politics of the 1960s.
But Sanders was undaunted, using his final statement to push back at the criticism.
Misconception, and you're hearing it here tonight, is that the ideas I'm talking about are radical. They're not. In one form or another, they exist in countries all over the world.
The candidates also went after the two billionaires on the stage. Senator Elizabeth Warren struck at former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg, bringing up a lawsuit alleging he spoke harshly to a pregnant employee worried about balancing her job and her future child.
At least I didn't have a boss who said to me, kill it, the way that Mayor Bloomberg
never
alleged
said
to
that.
have said to one of his pregnant employees. People want a chance to hear. People want a chance to hear from the women who
I never said that.
Biden and billionaire Tom Steyer faced off over Steyer's past business with private prisons.
Well, my good friend on the end of this platform, he in fact bought a system that was a private prison system after he knew that, in fact, what happened was they hog-tied young men in prison here in this state.
I've worked to end the use of private prisons in my home state, and we've ended it. I've started a bank to support black ownership of businesses, women ownership of businesses, and Latino owners of businesses, because this financial service industry is prejudiced. I have worked tirelessly on this, and you know I'm right.
The raucous debate wasn't all fighting. Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota stressed the need for health care and health workers outside of cities.
We're going to have 1 million openings for home health care workers, particularly in rural areas that we don't know how to fill. We're going to have over 100,000 openings for nursing assistants.
There was also one piece of unity over criticizing the president. Bloomberg slammed the administration's response to concerns about the coronavirus.
The president fired the pandemic specialists in this country 2 years ago, so there's nobody here to figure out what the hell we should be doing.
Elizabeth Warren.
What the candidates and some of their high-profile backers are now doing is sprinting. South Carolina Democrats vote in 3 days on Saturday. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Lisa Desjardins.
For more politics coverage, head to the NewsHour website. That's where you can watch Judy Woodruff at today's Knight Foundation Media Forum. She led a discussion on democracy in the age of the internet, featuring Teddy Goff, digital director of President Obama's re-election campaign, and Ori Renat, the chief digital officer for the Trump administration. Plus, tune in tomorrow when Judy sits down with Michael Bloomberg. That's right here on the NewsHour.